Hello. On the 24th of July 2016, neighbors to the Key of Joy Celestial Church heard loud cries coming out of the church. They were in shock. And these cries were cries for help. They decided to come and check to see who is the person crying for help. And when they came to the church premises, they saw a young boy of 9 years old by name Korede Taiwo tied up to one of the benches of the church. He was severely malnourished. He couldn't even speak and he couldn't even stand. They were in shock. They immediately called the police of Ogun State. The police came immediately and unchained the young boy from the pier of the church and carried him to the police station. The police started interrogating him after they have resuscitated him back to life by giving him food and beverages so that he can regain his strength. He started speaking and they asked him, "Who is your father?" He said his father's name is Francis Taiwo. And they asked him again, "What did you do that your father had to tie you or chained you rather to one of the benches of the church?" He said, "Because he loves stealing a lot." Then they asked him, "Why did you steal?" He said he stole because his father does not provide money so that his stepmother could prepare food for him and his stepbrothers. So he has to move around the neighborhood and steal. Last time he stole a pot of soup from their house and ran to the backyard of the house and started eating it because he was so hungry. And that caused his father to chain him up and bring him to the church premises and chained him up to one of the benches of the church simply because his father's friend had told him that in order to cleanse him from this spirit of theft, he had to be tied to the benches of the church. And he was tied up to the benches of the church and starved for months with no food. He also said that his father had once taken him to the riverside to bath him so that he could cleanse him from the spirit of theft, but to no avail. Korede's father was later on arrested. Police later on arrested Korede's father. And when they asked Korede's father, "Why did you chain your 9-year-old son on one of the benches in the church?" He said, "Because Korede is a serial thief, that he's been stealing from one neighbor's house to another in the neighborhood. He steals money and sometimes foodstuff. So in order for him to cleanse him off from the spirit of stealing, which is called in Yoruba Emi Ole, he had to tie the boy in the church." And they asked him about the boy's biological mother because the boy was living with his father and his stepmother. And he said he had married 3 times, that the boy's biological mother is the second wife. And they got divorced in 2007. And that with the boy's mother, he had 4 children. And the boy's biological mother is of late. So the boy's 3 other siblings are with the boy's biological mother's sister, that he took Korede immediately he was born, and that when Korede was born, his mother died immediately at the labor room. So that is what his father said. But guys, looking at this story, isn't it shocking? It's simply because this boy who steals a lot, this 9-year-old boy, Korede Taiwo, he steals not simply because he's a thief, but simply because he's a hungry young 9-year-old boy who needs food, to survive. We eat to live. We eat to live. But the most shocking thing is that the father had to do something which is so inhumane by chaining him up at one of the piers of the church, as if he is as if he's a dog. And while he chained his son up, he starved his son for weeks, no food. Isn't that evil? And his father is the pastor of the Key of Joy Celestial Church. A pastor. And the church members were coming to church. They saw this young boy, extremely malnourished, tied up to one of the benches of not even tied, chained up. Why did I keep on using this word tied up? Chained up, because that is what it is. Chained up to one of the benches of the church. And they could even hint the police that this young boy is chained up here. So I think if the neighbors of the church, didn't intervene, didn't hear this loud cries, and came to help this young boy, this young boy would have been dead, simply because you all can see the young boy's state. He's so malnourished. He wasn't given food while chained up. So guys, now the wife of the governor of Ogun State, Olufonso Amosong, has adopted the young boy as her own child. And this is the picture of the young boy several months after the young boy was rescued from the church premises, chained up on one of the benches of the church. So you look at how the stunning transformation. He's such a young, handsome man. And I really thank God for the neighbors of the church who really came to this young boy's rescue, because this young boy was starved and extremely malnourished, up to the extent which he would have been dead if he would have been left there for just a day. He would have been dead. So I'm grateful to the neighbors too of the church. But guys, let me give you an analogy about this. This world is so evil. If a pastor can do this to his own son by chaining his own son on one of the benches in the church, left there with no food for weeks and even months, it is shocking. It is so shocking. This is terrible. It's so horrific. I cannot. Pastors were the ones who are supposed to shine the light of God to all sinners. I mean, to all sinners. Like, if they are doing this sort of thing, I'm telling you, this world is coming to an end. This is shocking, right? When I saw this crime story, I was in shock. I couldn't even believe it. I was in shock. And this is what is happening. So guys, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing this video. Please hit that notification bell so that you'll be informed whenever I get to post another video again. I love you so much, but note, Jesus Christ loves you more. Stay safe and be blessed. Bye-bye.